What is up, Patrons? Okay, let's go right into this. This is, I've built this really quick null test. Here is what we were just talking about before in the Discord. I'm going to make this super, super quick. This is an operator, right? I have one operator here. I have the exact same operator down here. I have the second operator inverted. So the polarity of the second operator is inverse to the first. I also have a little bit of stuff I want to test here. So first of all, I'm just going to check and make sure that these two individual operators cancel. And they should. I've changed nothing here. I literally duplicated it. And in fact, I will do that again just to prove that I am doing the same thing. So here is my, actually, I will do that on the other one. I'll delete our null. So I'll grab this kid over here, and I'm going to place them here. Boom. Okay, now I have the exact same operator in both places. I've got my little retrigger for phase, so that means that every time the MIDI note hits, it will always start positive phase as it goes through its cycles. The frequency in here, the note does not matter. This should still cancel no matter what, because they're technically the same thing, and one is inverted. If they're mirror images, they should make nothing. And there we go. Full friggin' cancellation. I'm going to prove that, though, because, again, we don't just trust our ears over here. Children, we go for the science. So let's get in here with the meters, and to confirm, because I can't hear minus 144 dB signals without turning the gain up so much that I actually hear amp noise. But that is a minus EMF. That is the setting you want for a null test. That is 0. So there we go. No signal coming out. That's fantastic. Let's prove that it works the other way. I will turn off the null test, and we should have doubling of loudness, because now there's two signals at the same time. That's going to be a plus 6 dB. There we go. So these are peaking at minus 7.5. If I turn one of these off, this should come down about 6 dB. And there we go. Minus 12.5. So, all right. Now, we know they null. We know they cancel. Let's activate the tool and see what happens. Does not null. This tool, this configuration is not bit perfect. It is not phase accurate. It is not compensating for phase. So no matter what you do, this is not going to phase cancel, because this tool itself, the EQ3s, are not compensating for phase. So if you're getting this to null, more likely than not, you have it on both channels, and then of course it will null, because the math that's happening here is the same math that's happening here, but on one side it's now inverted. So the way to do these null tests, and I know that you've seen me do the null test where the tool is on both channels, that is just to be able to isolate what the tool itself is doing. Because if a tool isn't going to phase cancel, like if I put an EQ8 up here, and now all of a sudden I've got this EQ8 up here, and it's canceling, but I start doing stuff like this, or worst case scenario, what we've seen before in the past is when I've used the multi-band dynamics, and this itself is in the same boat as the EQ3 that we were just using. Let's actually back that up real quick. So we've got the EQ3, does not cancel. I turn this off, does cancel. I bring in the multi-band dynamics, same situation. Doesn't cancel, because this is not being compensated for within phase. So the reason why we're getting leakage, and we can see that leakage as being significantly lower than the original signal's value, we have this right here. What are we peaking at? Minus 12.7. Let's turn on our secondary summing. So now we're trying to cancel it, even though we're using the multiband dynamics, and we're going to notice that it's going to peak much lower. It is not the same level of signal. There is some cancellation happening, but it is not bit perfect. It is not fully in phase. And so you're going to get that same problem with either of these two tools, because I believe they're both being done on very similar maths. And so you're going to end up with that level of leakage no matter which tool you use. And so when we were trying to understand what the tool was doing, I had to copy the tool to the summing channel. And that would allow me then to be able to actually now sum, but then begin to show differences in compression, differences in expansion. And so that's why you saw me adding the tool to both sides, or why I had the tool on the sum chain. But if you're trying to determine bit perfectness or phase accuracy of tools, and you're trying to do actual summing, 9 times out of 10, you've got to have just the tool on your test channel and completely dry, raw on your null channel. And that should do it for you. And that should prove there that you're like, this is not phase accurate. Now, when it comes to, let's do that first one. This is the first video. Bye!